I came in foster care when I was 11 years old. I remained until I was pretty much emancipated. My childhood was normal for the first few years of my life. A stable environment with a mother and a stepfather. When I was about 9 or 10, my mom went to New York and she left me with my stepdad, with my other siblings. And when she returned, she just was not the same person. I guess she had started using drugs and everything. So life from there just kind of went downhill, a downward spiral. She would just get involved with all types of men who were abusive, not only to her, but us as well. And she would just find herself in all kinds of situations that were not good for us. Eventually, she sought help at a domestic violence shelter called CODA in Beaufort, and we were living there with her, me and my siblings. One day she left and she was not back by curfew, so at that point they called DSS. I don't know if she ever made an effort to get us back, but it didn't seem like it since I never, got back there. I guess she felt like it was just easier without us. I didn't meet my guardian ad litem until I was 15, and at that time she came to me and wanted to know whether or not I wanted to be adopted. I gave her a really hard time, cursed her out, called her everything I probably could think of, but I think that was normal for the situation that I was in. Being in foster care was hard. It was a lot of trust issues where I didn't trust many of the people that I came in contact with, and it was just hard to build relationships with people and keep relationships. But my guardian ad litem, although I gave her a hard time in the beginning, she never gave up on me and she stuck with me. And even till this day, about 14 years later, we still have a marvelous relationship. Basically, without her, I probably would not have known what was going on with my case or where I was going next. And she pretty much was the one that kept me abreast and up to date on everything that was happening. She was probably more involved than my own family. The families I got with, I always felt like I was out of place and I knew that it wasn't my home. So it was just hard to fit in, especially in the homes where their biological children were. I did have one awesome foster parent. Probably about the first week or so that I was put in her home, I ran away. And most foster parents would be like, no, I don't want this child anymore. But she actually wanted me to come back and she allowed me to come back. She was very nurturing, very supportive. She had one other child in the home that was her biological son. He was probably a year or two older than myself. But she was just always there. If I got into something, she was there. If I needed her to come to the school, she was there. She just made sure I was involved in extra things, after school programs. It was, I think, the first foster parent who actually probably told me that they loved me. You don't hear that a lot. And I probably would have stayed in her home until I emancipated, but I got myself in some trouble that caused me to be removed, not at home, but at school. In a normal family, if their child gets into trouble, the parent automatically is going to come to their rescue. But in foster care, you don't have that, and it's just like, throw away the key, lock them up kind of situation. And it's really sad. Okay, just because this is what you see in black and white on paper about this child, that does not necessarily define who this child is. I feel like given the environment, anybody can thrive. It doesn't matter where they come from. As long as they have an environment to do so, I think people can change for the most part. My plan for when I graduated high school was just to go to college. I mean, I knew it would come a day where I would have to cut ties altogether with DSS and everything. So that I've always been ready for. It's not like anyone sits there and say, oh, I want to just be in DSS custody for the rest of my life. But I knew I didn't want to end up like a lot of my peers and a lot of the situations I see around me. And I just wanted to be a better person. Time came for me to go or to start making a decision as far as college goes. It was me who did everything I needed to do as far as making sure financial aid was together, sending off applications. Like, nobody sat down with me to do that, and I'm just thankful that I had enough sense to, go out there and find the answers that I needed for myself. And I cannot sit here and say that it was easy, because I got in a lot of trouble when I was in foster care. And it didn't stop me. if anything, it made me who I am now, and it made me a better person. I think that children in custody, they often get a label. It's like a negative stigma attached to just the whole foster care experience. And foster care is not all negative. There can be many positive experiences. It just depends on the individual and how they embrace those experiences. I won't say that foster care for me was a walk in the park, because it wasn't. I think that without the support of my guardian ad litem, I probably would not have had the opportunities that I had. Right now I'm doing well. I'm a licensed social worker in South Carolina. So just graduated with my master's degree in social work last May. I can say that I guess I'm one of the success stories. No matter what you've been through, you can bounce back.